Blimmin' heck, we're getting another Mega-Gargant. We've seen King Brod, we're getting a Beast-Smasher this time around. Let's go check him out and I'll let you know why I think that's not all we're getting for the Sons of Behemat. Right, it's the 20th of September 2022 and the Warhammer community have introduced us to yet another Mega-Gargant.
Not another one?
In this article we're introduced to the Beast-Smasher, and let's get straight in there and have a look at him. So we first met with this video with these compelling silhouettes walking towards the camera, and the one at the front is the brand new Gargant, the Beast-Smasher. Interestingly enough, we're seeing 5 Gargants here, and none of them bears a silhouette that's similar to King Brod, who we saw last time. We're getting the 3 standard Gargants that we saw previously. Now there's a few different things in this article that do make me wonder if we are going to see something else for the Sons of Behemat, a third Mega-Gargant, bring us up to 6 total. One of those things, and perhaps the least reasonable to sort of base any hunches on, is that there's an additional 5th Gargant in the background of this image. If you zoom in close on it, they look like they've maybe got a hood on or something like that, but they do actually look quite different to the Gatebreaker Gargant. It looks like something interesting is going on with that head, which does make me wonder if this is a cheeky glimpse at what we're going to see. Anyway, you're here to see the Beast-Smasher. Here he is. So we're told King Brod is the most mighty of monarchs, and to prove that might truly makes right, he's summoned the Beast-Smasher Mega-Gargants to his cause. Together they'll create a Gargant Stomp powerful enough to wage war against the heavens themselves and claim revenge for the death of Behemat. The primal energies of the great War that radiate from Ghur have affected the Mega-Gargants so profoundly that they believe they can commune with Gorkamorka himself. These fanatical Beast-Smashers cannot shake a single-minded obsession to find and slay the most incredible beasts of the mortal realms, as the twin-headed god did before them. So as you can see, this is another fantastic model, and just to touch upon something that I did touch upon with King Brod, this is the same body and legs that you've seen before in the previous Mega-Gargants. So this is more of kind of upgrade kit or a revamp, much like you'll see in 40k with the Imperial Titans. So the brand new parts you're seeing here are the head and this long large weapon held in the left hand. The shoulder ornaments we've seen previously on the War Stomper, albeit with a big shield and a load of weapons tacked on the back. And the right hand here, full of oomies, was previously also included in the Mega-Gargant kit, alongside all these trophies and bits and pieces about his body. There are some really great details on this model which I love, including the gruesome severed arm hanging out of his mouth, and the use of a human skull as a false eye. Now we're told in the article, Beast-Smashers spend most of their days stomping about in a frenzy, lost in visions of the age of myth. In rare moments of clear-minded braggadocio, they will claim that they are the closest of all the Gargants to the World Titan's spirit. So we get some close-up of the items, and another really interesting thing to see here is that this appears to be coming in the same kit as King Brod, because the haft of the weapon in the hand does appear to be the same hand. Now this factors into one of the 3 reasons why I think we might possibly be seeing another Gargant. Not that 5 Mega-Gargants isn't enough, I mean they're massive models. Now I'll quickly skip back to the very start of the article and just some of the wording they've used here that suggests there might be something more coming. I don't think it's going to be the Man-Crusher Gargants, just because we did see those briefly glimpsed in the preview video here and they appear to be unchanged. It's just this line at the very top. But the return of this colossal tyrant was just the beginning. Another new Mega-Gargant is ready to stride forth. Now again, it's a bit of a reach, but the wording here is King Brod was just the beginning, and here's another one. Doesn't suggest to me that that's it. It just doesn't quite sound right. I would have said King Brod wasn't the only new Gargant. I don't know, you might completely disagree with me. I'd be really interested to hear what people think here, but anyway, on to the third thing, which is probably the slightly more compelling reason. So looking at this weapon that he's holding, this hand, if we go back to the video, you can see clearly that, and this is the thing that kind of made me twig it at first, was that one of his fingers has a crown as a ring, and King Brod has crowns as rings on, like 3 of them on one of his hands, and then he's got another one on the other hand. So this is the same hand, and actually when you have a look, it's the same shaft of the weapon. So these are coming in the same kit. Now, if we take a look at the original Mega-Gargant Sprue, you can see all these items here which I thought were presumably not going to be included in this kit and replaced by the new bits, but then I did notice the War Stomper bits, including the sort of neck pieces here and here, and the big horns are included on this sprue, which as it's split across both sides of the sprue indicates we're getting the whole thing, so you're going to be able to build every Gargant and you're going to have a load of spare pieces at the end of this. So the next thing to consider is how much more we're going to get in this box. Well, we do have this one half-size sprue, which again we know is not being replaced, because the portcullis has been included on the Beast-Smasher model. So I did a quick rough and dirty comparison, so this is a definite pinch of salt moment, full speculation, but I had a look at this sprue and I compared the sizing of the club. So you can see the same arm here that's used on King Brod, which gives us a good size comparison for the length of this club. Now the angle means that we're not getting a like-for-like comparison, but we can assume that it's going to take up a fair length of this sprue, probably 2/3 of it. Given that King Brod and the Beast-Smasher share the same weapon haft, it seems very likely they're coming in the same kit, so we can assume there's going to be 2 ends to the weapon included in this. King Brod has not only his face, but he's got the skull over the face, which will presumably come in multiple parts. He's got these big horns, he's got his little gremlin things all over the place, and he's got this kind of hair, whether it's bag hair or kind of a beast mane down his back, as well as King Brod's additional hand, which does leave me thinking, is there enough space for a half sprue? It's going to be pretty tight, but it could explain why on this Beast-Smasher variant we are literally just getting a slightly different weapon topper and a new face. So they could have just gone, right, there's a bit of space here, let's just chuck something else in, which is cool. I'm good with that. However, if we are getting a sprue that's the same size as one of these double sprues that goes in the kit, and if they can manage to wedge that in the box, then there's definitely room for another Gargant, and it could be that one that we've seen loitering in the background of that animation picture. I mean, they created that very much to advertise this release. They didn't need to include another Gargant in there. It may have just been they thought it would look cool, and, you know, kind of did. But I don't know why you wouldn't just include the 4 variants, or include King Brod in that animation. Maybe they didn't know he would be announced first, I don't know. I'd definitely be interested to hear what everybody thinks on this point. So scrolling down to the very bottom of the article, we get a few more details. So in battle, they pulverise their foes with multi-menhir clubs, swinging with 3 mighty attacks that each wound on a 2+ and deal a grievous 5 wounds. Gargants who are feeling lucky can aim a beast-breaking strike at the weakest spot of an enemy monster, trading 3 attacks for 1 risky gamble that changes the damage characteristic of their menhir club 5d6. Enough on average to deal a killer blow to all but the most mighty of adversaries. Finally, they note, as with the other Mega-Gargant types, the Forces of Destruction can also trade all their shiny stuff to hire a named Beast-Smasher, known as Odo Godswallow. This mercenary is a bloodthirsty oaf of surprisingly deep insight, at least when it comes to killing monsters. So what do you think of these new big lads? Are you planning on picking them up? And if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and yeah, just chuck me a comment, let me know what you think. Cheers!